baba urusirele monghadi mesia baba selamo yo halalela.
Shalom Wakazak Mashpaka. Welcome to another episode of Daily Tonic in the Word right here on GC Creative. And I remain your humble host and your regular brother, Daniel Fierce Lion Yashirala. And today we are going into the book of Shemoth, Exodus, from chapter 1 going straight down to chapter 5. And it says, "Now these are the names of the children of Yasharel, which came into Mizraim. Every man and his household came with Yaakov, Reuben, Shimon, Levi, and Yehuda, Yishakar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher, and all the souls that came out of the loins of Yaakov were 70 souls. For Joseph was in Mizraim already, and Joseph died, and all his generation, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Yasharel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them." Now I want you all to connect the dots here. Remember, at this point it explains, saying that Joseph died, and even all his brethren, which means in that space of time, and the land of Egypt, the land of Mizraim, Joseph and his brothers, they have lived many long years, they have reproduced, and their nation died. Another that is that the children of Yasharel were fruitful, which means they keep reproducing, and they are fruitful until what? He said, and they multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them, which means it's no longer one generation, it's no longer two generations, it's no longer three generations, it's no longer 10 generations. So now about generation upon generation, from Yaakov as the father to becoming Yaakov to becoming a grandfather, great grandfather, great grandfather, and great grandfather, like that. That is why this next thing happened. Verse 8. "Now there arose up a new king over Mizraim, which knew not Joseph." Why do you think the new king that came up out of Mizraim never knew Joseph? Because generations has passed, histories have passed, people have lived, they have just let things go. In the same manner as even right here in Nigeria, none of our grandfathers that are alive today, just very few can give account of anything. But I can assure you that right here in Nigeria, none of the elders that we have can be able to tell us the story of what happened to them 200 years ago. Simply because histories have passed. The Europeans that came to cause all those trouble actually are trying to hide some histories from them. That is why today we have people who are right here in the motherland, and they think that they are Ghanaian, that they are Nigerians. They don't really know what their nationality is. Why? Because generation has passed. Histories actually have faded off. You don't even know anything. So it also happened at this point as well. The new king that was erected in Mizraim never knew Joseph. Excuse me. 9. "And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Yasharel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it came to pass that when there falls out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. Now, here's my question. Why did they say that? The first part is the new king over Mizraim. He never knew about history of how it was one of the Ephraimites, that's the Hebrews, that saved their land among all the lands on earth at that period. It was their land. It was one of the Hebrews that helped them to become that land that was the only land that had food for that 7 years of famine. They never knew about that. There is one now telling them, his people, that they should deal with the people of Yasharel wisely, not just wisely, but craftily, so that they will not end up to go and join up with their enemies. How will this kind of king have such negative thoughts? It's because he never was able to meet down histories, maybe of his father's kings ahead of him, pass down the history. Because don't get it twisted. There's no how you can try your best to work on a particular lineage to go down line in the way of the Most High, or to go down line being truthful. At a point, one particular among those lineage, you become a demon and will misbehave. That's where the Paul actually came from. For the history to be cut off, that king was not able to know that there's a particular person of the Ephraimites that saved the land of Egypt from being victim of the famine as well. Let's press on. Verse 12. And the more they afflict them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Yasharel. And the Mizraim made the children of Yasharel to serve with rigor, hard labor. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. Look at how wicked the Mizraims were. And the king of Mizraim spoke to the Ivri midwives, of which the name of the one was Shifra, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Ivrites, women, and see upon them these two, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Why are they trying to kill the boys, the sons, and spare the daughters? Because they knew that once we have the sons, it is the sons that can use their seed to pass down generations and keep spreading the seed to give birth to full breed. But when they have only the women, and there's no men to pass down their seed to keep multiplying, the women will end up getting married or getting themselves mixed up with the other nations because they don't want to stay alone, single. Look at the wickedness. Just as the same king of Mizraim today, in those days, was trying to cut down the numbers of children of Yasharel because they were growing in exceeding number. That's the same way the elites that we have today, they are planning this planned propaganda, evil propaganda, to reduce population of the dark race. That's why they came up with all these their pandemics, all this poison food, poison fruits, poison drink. All these things are all the planned works of these same enemies. Just like Pharaoh as well was trying to reduce the population, the children of Yasharel. Let's press on. But the midwives feared Elohim and did not as the king of Mizraim commanded them, but saved the men, children alive. And the king of Mizraim called for the midwives and said unto them, Why have you done these things, and have saved the men children alive? And the midwife said unto Pharaoh, Because the Hivrite women are not as the Mizraim women, for they are lively, and are delivered and are delivered ere the midwives came in unto them, which means they deliver safely even before the midwife come to them. 20. Therefore Elohim dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared Elohim, that he made them houses. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, Every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughters ye shall save alive. Why do you think Pharaoh had to bring up this particular wicked concept as a law? Because he knew that the midwives will not want to have the blood of innocent children in their hands. So looking for a way on how to eradicate and annihilate every newborn male child of the evening. Chapter 2. And there went a man of the house of Levi, and took to be his woman the daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bore a son. And when she saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. And when she could not longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes, and dabbed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein, and she laid it in the reed by the river's brink. And his sister stood afar off to wit what would be done with him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and a maiden walked along by the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the reed, she sent a maid to fetch it. And when she had opened it, she saw a child, and behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him, and said, This is one of the Ephraim children. This then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, Shall I go and call to you a nurse of the Hivrite women, that may nurse the child for you? And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, Go. And the maid went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, Take this child away, and nurse it for me, and I will give you your wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it. And the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moshe. And she said, Because I drew him out of the water. Just imagine. It was the same sister of Moshe that told the daughter of Pharaoh that I know midwives that can take care of him. And when she goes to call a midwife, she called the mother of Moshe to come take care of him until he is grown enough to take him back or give him back to Pharaoh's daughter. Verse 11. And it came to pass in those days, when Moshe was grown, that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens, and he spied a Mizraim smiting an Ephraim one of his brethren. And he looked this way and that way, and when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Mizraim and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, behold, two men of the Ephraim strove together, and he said to them, what did the wrong? Sorry, and he said to him that did the wrong, pardon me, wherefore smite you your fellow? And he said, who made you a prince and judge over us? Intend you to kill me as you killed the Mizraim? And Moshe feared and said, surely this thing is known. Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moshe, because Moshe fled from the face of Pharaoh. But Moshe fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well, and the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and draw water, and they filled the trough of water their father's flock. 17. And the shepherd came and drove them away, but Moshe stood by and worshipped and watered Elohim. Just imagine. Verse 18. Then, and when they came to Reuel, their father, he said, how is it that ye are come so soon quickly? And they said, a Mizraim delivered us out of the hand of the shepherd, and also drew water enough for us and watered the flock. Now here's my question. Why do you think they counted Moshe to be a Mizraim? Because his look, aside from the skin color, which one that the ancient Mizraims were not Caucasians, they were dark-skinned people. But because of his look, Moshe was actually looking like a man, and he has no beard. He was clean shaved because he has been living his life like a Mizraim. Let us press on. And he said unto his daughters, and where is he? Why is it that ye have left the man? Call him that he may eat bread. And Moshe was content to dwell with the man. And he gave Moshe Sephora his daughter, and she bore him a son, and he called his name Gershom. For he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. And it came to pass in process of time that the king of Mizraim died, and the children of Yasharel sighed by reason of the bondage, and they cried. And the cry came up unto Elohim by reason of the bondage. Let's move on. 24. And Elohim heard their groaning, and Elohim remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Yitzchak, and with Yaakov. And Elohim looked upon the children of Yasharel, and Elohim had respect unto them. Why do you think this actually happened? Watch, Moshe ended up having a wife not from his own lineage. And the funny part is, after this actually had done, they now multiply the bondage, they multiply the pains upon the children of Yasharel, that he had to run away because he couldn't stand it. But the problem here now is that don't think that what you are going through and how you are praying, your wife is not seeing you. Look at that verse 24. It says, and Elohim heard their groaning, and Elohim remembered his covenant with Abraham and with Yitzchak and with Yaakov. My question is, even in your trying times, how many times have you remembered to call upon Yahuwah? Even in your trying times. Chapter 3. And now Moshe kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, and the priest of Midian, and he led the sheep to the backside of the desert, and came to the mountain of Elohim, even to Horeb. And the angel of Elohim appeared unto him in the flame of fire out of the midst of a thorn bush. And he looked, and behold, the thorn bush burned with fire, and the thorn bush was not consumed. And Moshe said, I will now turn aside and see this great. I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the thorn burn and the thorn burn is not burnt, or the thorn bush is not burnt. Sorry. And when Yahweh saw that, he turned aside to see. Elohim called unto him out of the midst of the thorn bush and said, Moshe, Moshe. And he said, Here I am. And he said, Draw not near hither. Put off your shoes from off your feet, for the place wherein you stand is holy ground. This is the reason why we have a particular denomination of Christianity in Nigeria here, who they call the Celestial. That is why they cultivate the habit of saying that they don't put on slippers into their church. They believe that because most I asked Moshe not to wear anything but to live, they think that is actually a way of life. Verse and now we are in verse 6. Moreover, he said, I am the Elohai of your father, the Elohai of Abraham, the Elohai of Ishak, and the Elohai of Jacob. And Moshe hid his face, and he was afraid to look upon Elohim. And Yahuwah said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people, which Mishraim, which are in Mishraim, and I've heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrow. And I am come down to deliver them out of the hands of the Mishraim, and bring them out of the land, out of that land, unto a good land, and a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of Canaan, and the Kittim, and the Amorim, and the Perizim, and the Kittim, and the Yevuzim. 9. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Yasharel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the women oppress them. Come now therefore, and I will send you unto Pharaoh, that he may bring forth my people, the children of Yasharel, out of Yasharel. And Moshe, bring forth my people out of the land of Mishraim. And Moshe said unto Elohim, Who am I, that I should go to Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Yasharel out of Mishraim? And he said, Certainly I will be with you, and this shall be a sign unto you that I have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Mishraim, you shall serve Elohim upon this mountain. And Moshe said unto Elohim, Behold, when I come unto the children of Yasharel, and they say unto me, The Elohai of your father has sent me unto you, and they ask me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them? And Elohim said unto Moshe, Ahaya Asha Ahaya, and said, There shall And Elohim said unto Moshe, Ehaya Asha Ehaya, and he said, Thus shall you say unto the children of Yasharel, Ehaya has sent me unto you. This Ehaya Asha Ehaya is the same that we know today in English as I am that I am. That's the one who is, and who he is, and who is to come, is the one who actually sent you. And Moshe said unto the Elohim, Behold, I am come And Moshe said unto Elohim, behold, when I come unto the children of Yasharel, sorry, pardon me, I'm in verse 15 now. And Elohim said, moreover, unto El Moshe, thus shall you say unto the children of Yasharel, Elohai, Yahuwah Elohai of your fathers, and the Elohai of Abraham, and Elohai of Yishak, and Elohai of Yaakov, has sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my name, this is my mention unto all generations. Go and gather the elders of Yasharel together, and say unto them, Yahuwah Elohai of your fathers, the Elohai of Abraham, of Yishak, and of Yaakov, appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited, and when that which is done to you in Mizraim. And he said, I will bring you out of affliction and unto Mizraim, unto the land of Canaanim, and the Kittim, and the Amorim, and the Perizim, and the Kivim, and the Yevozim, unto the land flowing with milk and honey. And they shall hearken to your voice, and you shall come, and you and the elders of Yasharel, and the king unto the king of Mizraim, and ye shall say unto him, Yahuwah Elohai of the Ephraim has met with us, and now let us go, for we beseech nothing. 3 days journey into the wilderness, that was my sacrifice which Eloka asked for. And he shall hearken to the voice, okay, and ye shall say unto him, Yahweh Elohai of the Ephraim has met with us, and now let us go to beseech you 3 days journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to Yahuwah Elohim. And I am sure that the king of Mizraim will not let you go, no, not by a mighty hand. And I will stretch out my hand and smite Mizraim with all my wonders, which I will give to the midst thereof. And after that he will let you go. And I will give these people favor in the sight of the Mizraim. And it shall come to pass that when ye go, ye shall not go empty. And every man shall borrow of a neighbor and of her that sojourn in a journey, jewelries and silver, or gold of gold, jewelries of silver, and jewels of gold, and raiment, and ye shall put them upon my son and upon your seed, and ye shall spoil the Mizraim. Just look at it.
For sponsorship, advert placement, please call or WhatsApp this number +234 811 731 0928.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. It's still your program, Diamond About You, right here on this great TV. And now we are in the book of Shemoth, chapter 4. And it says, and Moshe answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice, for they will say, Yahuwah has not appeared unto you. And Yahuwah said unto him, what is it? What is that in your hand? And he said, a rod. And he said, cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground, and it became a serpent. And Moshe fled from before it. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, put forth your hand and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand. That they may believe that Yahuwah Elohai of their fathers, and the Elohai of Abraham, the Elohai of Yitzchak, and the Elohai of Jacob has appeared unto you. And Yahuwah said, furthermore, Yahuwah said furthermore unto him, put now your hand into your bosom, and he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. Now here's my question. This actually is what we call white, right? Now, is it possible, if Moshe was to be a Caucasian, can his skin be as white as this? It's not possible. That's to prove to you that Moshe indeed was a black man, because nobody that is actually a Caucasian can get lighter than their skin color. The Caucasian are carrying the lightest skin color that ever existed, both in man and animal. Because if you observe, if you think I'm lying, when you kill any animal, either maybe it is a chicken, or maybe it is a pig, or maybe it is a lamb or a goat, if you don't want to burn off the skin, the furs, if you try to use hot water to peel off those furs, look at the color of the skin of those animals. It is the lightest color, which is actually the same color as the skin color of the Caucasians. So this has proved that Moshe actually was not light-skinned, but he was dark-skinned. That was why they were able to know that at least his hand, which went to his bosom, actually changed color from his natural dark-skinned color to become a dark-skinned body with a light-skinned Caucasian hand. But what happened next? 7. And he said, put your hand into your bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. And it came to pass, if they will not believe, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. And it came to pass, if they will not believe also these two signs, neither hearken unto your voice, that you shall take the water of the river and pour it upon a dry land, and the water which you take out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land. Look at that. He said he should take water out of the what? Out of the river and pour it upon the dry land, and the water which you take out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land. But yet in religion they will tell you that he touched the water turned into blood. Now here's a question. This is why the scripture wants us to study, to show ourselves approved. When you don't study, you will know the fact. Now the scripture are proving that Yahuwah told him to take water out of the river. And that portion that he took out of the river is that same portion that when he put upon the dry land, it will turn to blood. Not that as he take the water out of the river, the river itself will turn into blood. Don't make mistakes on the lies that men told us that is good to study to know the fact. Let us press on. And Moshe said unto Yahuwah, O Adonai, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore, nor since you have spoken unto your servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue. When he said that he's of a slow tongue, he's simply talking about him being a stammerer. Remember that every stammerer, if they will speak, you must be very, very patient. I'm not trying to mock them right now, but that's why they start hearing words like you start basing themselves again. Are you doing? Just tell me what I say. How are you doing? But if you are not patient enough, you have walked away. So he's telling Yahweh that he's a man that is slow of speech. We'll see what Yahweh did. And Yahweh said unto him, who has made man's mouth? Or who makes the dumb or the deaf or the seeing or the blind? That have I not Yahuwah? Now therefore go, I will be with you, I will be with your mouth, and teach you what to say, what you shall say. And he said, O Adonai, send, I pray you, by the hand of him whom you will send. And the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Moshe. At this point, Moshe was trying to give excuses. That sometimes I'm always sorry for the souls of those brothers who are meant to pick up the mantle of Yahweh to be obedient, but they are very lazy. They are filled with excuses, not even ready and wanting to work for the Most High. So just imagine, if the anger of the Most High can be kindled against Moshe, who you have chosen, how about you that you have not even heard the voice of Yahuwah? Ordinary lightning. Once you just say, brrr, some people will just shock. So how much more Moshe that could stand to hear the voice of Yahuwah? If you are going to get there, yes, in the latter chapters of the scriptures, there's a part whereby when Yahuwah came down to speak with the children of Yasharel, not that I want to send Moshe, the children of Yasharel, they marveled that they almost feared death. They had to tell Moshe, please, don't let Yahuwah speak to us anymore. Let him speak to you. If the Most High Yah can be such fearsome and dreadful, yet those who claim to be the truth today, they are messing with the same Yahuwah. Hey, let's continue. And the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Moshe, and he said, is not Aaron the Levi your brother? I know that he can speak well, and also, behold, he comes forth to meet you, and when he sees you, he will be glad in his heart. And you shall speak unto him, and put the words in his mouth, and I will be with your mouth and with his mouth, and will teach you what to say, and what ye shall do. You see that? Despite the excuses that Moshe had, the Most High said, I will speak through your mouth. It's not meant to not get someone who can speak eloquently, who can speak fluently. It will be your interpreter, but I will make that it is you. Not everybody actually are lucky like Moshe. Because as we speak right now, once you go against the will of Yahweh, when Yahweh give you an assignment, he has 7,000 men who are ready-made substitutes. If you refuse not to do the assignment, he will wake them up to go and do the work for him. If you choose not to be useful. Next person. And he shall be your spokesman unto the people, and he shall be, even he shall be to you instead of the mouth, and you shall be to him instead of Elohim. Which means Elohim will speak through Moshe. Moshe will speak to Aaron. Aaron will speak to the people. So Yahweh made Moshe to be his own mouthpiece, his own spokesman, while Moshe will have to speak to Aaron, so Aaron can be the spokesman of Yahuwah through Moshe, so he can speak to the people. And you shall take this rod in your hand, wherewith you shall do signs. And Moshe went and returned to Yethro, his father-in-law, and said unto him, Let me go, I pray you, and return unto my brethren, which are in Mizraim, and see whether they be yet alive. And Yethro said to Moshe, Go in peace. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, in Midian, Go, return into Mizraim, for all the men are dead, which sought for your life. And Moshe took his woman and her sons, and set them upon an ass, and returned to the land of Mizraim. And Moshe took the rod of Elohim in his hand. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, When you go to return into Mizraim, see that you do all those wonders before Pharaoh, and which I have put in your hands. But I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go. And you shall say unto Pharaoh, Thus says Yahuwah, Yasharel is my son, even my firstborn. He never said the whole world or the whole nation of the earth is my son. He said Yasharel is my son, even my firstborn. So for those who are coming up with the mentality of saying that the heathens are also saved to be like the children of Yasharel, they are only saved to escape judgment that is coming, the condemnation. But that doesn't mean that they are saved to be a freeborn. They are saved to join to the house of Yasharel as handmaids and servants. To confirm this, go to the book of Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1 and verse 2. You see that right there. So it's not just my own weird words. So let's push on. And he said unto you, and I say unto you, Let my son go, that he may serve me. And if you refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay your son, even your firstborn. And it shall come to pass by the way in the inn, that Yahuwah met him and sought to kill him. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son, and cast it at his feet, and said, Surely a bloody man are you today. And so he let him go. Then she said, A bloody man you are, because of the circumcision. Now remember, at the point when Moshe was born, normally after the 7th day that a male child is born, that is when the child actually ought to be circumcised. But at this point that Moshe was going home, the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against him. But because his wife Sephora knows about Yah's intentions and the way to appease Yahuwah through the blood sacrifice, of circumcision of the foreskin. So instead, she did that to save Moshe. Let's press on. Verse 27. And Yahuwah said unto Elharon, go into the wilderness to meet Moshe. And he went and met him in the mount of Elohim and kissed him. And Moshe told Aaron all the words of Yahuwah, who had sent him, and all the signs which he had commanded him. And Moshe and Aaron went and gathered together all the elders of the children of Yasharel. And Aaron spoke all the words which Yahuwah had spoken unto Moshe, and all the signs in the sight of the people. And the people believed. And when they heard that Yahuwah had visited the children of Yasharel, and that he had looked upon their affliction, they bowed their heads and worshipped. Chapter 5, the last chapter for today. Shemoth chapter 5, the last chapter for today. And Moshe and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, thus says Yahuwah Elohai of Yasharel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. And Pharaoh said, who is Yahuwah, that I should obey his voice to let Yasharel go? I know not Yahuwah, neither will I let Yasharel go. Look at the levity of the kind of hardened spirit that Pharaoh had. For him to question Moshe that who is Yahuwah. If his own forefathers can say to Joseph, that we know that Yahuwah is with you. That is why everything you lay upon actually are blessed. Yet this new king said, who is Yahuwah? Look at the level of insolence. Just like today, we're in a world whereby civilization actually has made our people to become so foolish that they are even saying that when you're saying that it's not God, it's not Baal, it's not Jesus Cesare Borgia, then who is Yahuwah? I'll be like, what is wrong with you people? The Yahuwah that can kill and can make alive is who you are asking, as if you are asking for a mailman. May Yahuwah have mercy. Let's press on. And they said, the Elohai of the Ephraim has met with us. Let us go, we pray you, 3 days journey into the desert, and sacrifice unto Yahuwah Elohim, lest he fall upon us with pestilence and with the sword. And the king of Mizraim said unto them, wherefore do ye, Moshe and Aaron, let the people from their works get you unto your body? And Pharaoh said, behold, the people of the land now are many, and ye make them rest from their burden. And Pharaoh commanded the same day the taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, ye shall no more give the people straw to make bricks, as heretofore. Let them go and gather straw for themselves, and the tally of the bricks which they did make hither, ye shall lay upon them, and ye shall not diminish aught thereof, for they be idle. Therefore they cry, saying, let us go and sacrifice to our Elohim. See that? The king asked the taskmasters to multiply the pain, multiply the wickedness, multiply the evil due to our forefathers in the land of Egypt. That is because they had enough time. Now they are able to cry to their Elohim to let them go. But when they give them double more punishment double more tasks, double more problems, double more pain. They don't have time to call on their Elohim. Just imagine that. The expression. 9. Let their more work be laid upon the men, that they may labor therein, and let them not regard vain words. And the taskmasters of the people went out, and their officers, and they spoke to the people, saying, Thus says Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. Go ye, get you straw where ye can find it. Yet not aught of your work shall be diminished. Which means none of the work will be reduced. You must still make the exact same bricks that you must make, but you must find what you need by yourself. We will stop giving you materials anymore, but you go and find it by yourself. So the people were scattered abroad throughout all the land of Mizraim to gather stubble instead of straw. And the taskmaster hasted them, saying, Fulfill your works, your daily tasks, as when there was straw. And the officers of the children of Yasharel, which Pharaoh's taskmaster had set over them, were beaten and demanded, Wherefore have you not fulfilled your task in making bricks both yesterday and today, as heretofore? Then the officers of the children of Yasharel came and cried unto Pharaoh, saying, Wherefore deal us thus with your servants? There is no straw given unto your servants. And they said to us, Make bricks, and behold, your servants are beaten, but the fault is in your own people. And he said, Ye are idle, ye are idle. Therefore ye say, Let us go and sacrifice to Yahuwah. Go therefore now and walk, for there shall no straw be given you, yet shall ye deliver the tally of bricks. And the officers of the children of Yasharel did see that they were in evil case. After it was said, You shall not minish aught from your bricks of your daily tasks. And they met Moshe and Aaron, who stood in the way, as they came forth from Pharaoh, and said unto them, Yahuwah looked upon you and judged, because ye have made our Savior to be harbored in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of the servants, to put a sword in their hands to slay us. And Moshe returned unto Yahuwah and said, Adonai, wherefore have you so evil entreated these people? Why is it that you have sent me? For since I came to Pharaoh to speak in your name, he has done evil to these people, neither have you delivered your people at all. At this point, Moshe was almost losing hope. They had to question Yahuwah. Now, why do you even send me to go and meet these people actually? Now, I've gone there now, their pain has multiplied. Why? And yet, you say, I've gone there to go and speak in your name. But yet, they are not saved. Abba, what's happening? Though at some point, trials might look like that. Sometimes you look as if your prayer is not answered. Please, don't give up. Keep up the faith. Yahuwah actually sees your heart, and he can see that truly you are doing everything possible under your best to see that yes, you can stay right on track with him. Don't lose hope. So this will make it a close of this episode of the program, Daily Tonic in the Word, right here on GC TV. We'll see you again tomorrow, Yah's will, same time on the same station. With this I say shalom and bye for now.